Today we are going to discuss about process management in this video. First, what is a process? A process is a program under execution. When a program is executed, it is called as a process. Process every time it executes in a sequential manner. Process is not same as a program, but it is more than a program. When we are writing a program and executing it, the execution of that program is called as a process. So, process is an active entity, whereas program is an passive entity. We require many attributes in order to execute the process like the hardware, memory, CPU, etc. The program memory is divided into four sections. One is the text section, data section, heap section, and the stack section. First, coming to this is the structure of the program process in the memory. So it is divided into four sections. Now, first coming to stacks text section. Now, this text section is a storage which contains a program which are made to be compiled. That type of text is stored here in the text section. Next, we have the data section, which is containing both the global and the static variables, which are allocated to that program during its execution. Then we have the heap section, which is used for dynamic memory allocation. And then the stack section, which is used for the storage of the local variables. So in this way, a process is divided into four sections in the memory. Now we are going to discuss about the difference between the process and the program. As we discussed, the program under execution is called as a process, and the program is a collection of instruction which is used to perform a particular task. Then the lifetime of a process is very short. That is, it exists only till the execution of the process. The lifetime of the program is longer. It remains and stores in the computer. Next, when we are executing a process, it requires some of the resources like memory, CPU, input, and the output devices. Whereas program is stored in a hard disk and it does not require any resources. A process is a dynamic code and data, whereas a program is a static code and data. A process is a running instance, whereas a program is the executable code. So these are the differences between the process and the program. Next, when the process is executing, as we know, operating system has one of the component called as process management, which is responsible to take care of the process and managing the process. So when a process is executing, the information of this process is maintained by the operating system in the block called as process control block. It keeps all the information which are needed to keep the track of the process. The information regarding the process which is under execution is stored in the process control block. So this process control block is divided into different blocks. As you can see, this is a block of different process control. This is the blocks of the process control block. Here, the first block is a process ID, then the stage, pointer, priority, program counter, CPU register, IO information, accounting information, etc. So, the process throughout its lifetime, the details of the process is maintained in the process control block. Once it is deleted or once it completes its process, the information from the process control block will be removed. Now we will discuss about each block one by one. First one is the process ID. So what is a process ID? It is one of the unique identification number for the process in the operating system during its execution. As every process is stored with its ID, and it is a unique number which is stored in the process control block. Next is the process state. When the process is executing, it will undergo into different states. So present, the current state of the process is returned in the block called as the process state. Then we have the privileges block, which is required to access or to allow or to disallow the access of the resources during its execution. If it is written as allow, the meaning is that the resources are allowed to the process. If it is disallow, the meaning is that the access to the resources are not allowed. Next, we have pointer. Pointer is to parent the process. Yes. Next, we have the program counter block, which is used to store the address of the next instruction to be executed for that particular process. Then we have the CPU registers, which are used to store the execution of the process in this register. Next, CPU scheduling information. This is a process priority and scheduling information which is required to schedule the process. As your operating system is there to execute number of process, which process is given priority and which process executed is decided with the help of the CPU scheduling information. Next, we have memory management information. The memory management information is used to store the information of the process, that is, the page tables required for the execution of the process, the memory limits required, the segment tables required in the memory. The information regarding the memory is stored in the memory management information. Next block is the accounting information. This includes the amount of CPU used, how much amount of CPU the process has been used, what is the execution time, what is the time limit. Information regarding the accounting during the execution of the process is stored in the accounting information block. Next, we have IO status information. This block contains a list of input and output devices which are allocated to the process. The track of the input device allocated and the output device allocated are stored in this block called as input-output status information block. So this way, the process when it's executing, the information is stored in this process control block. And the information of the process is only stored in the process control block in its lifetime. After its lifetime, that is when it is deleted or terminated, it will be removed from the process control block. Now, the next topic is the process states. As we have told just now, during the execution, the process will undergo into different states. So this is the state diagram of the process. That is, when the process is created till it gets into terminated, the process will undergo into these states. So the 5 states are ready state, ready suspended state, blocked suspended state, blocked state, and the running state. First, when the process is created, it enters into the ready state. When it is in the ready state, if it is ready with all its requirement, all its resources, using the method called as run, it enters into the running state. During the running state, the process is executed, and after completion, it enters into the termination. And if the process entered into running state, if due to any of the process, it has entered into suspended state, then it will go into the waiting state called as ready suspended state. Again, after getting the certain resources, it will come back into the ready state by using the method called as resume. This is how the process enters from the ready state into the ready suspended state. Now, during the execution, that is when the process entered into the running state, if it has occurred into any interruption, then using the method called as block, it will enter into the blocked state. From the blocked state, if it has got all the requirements, then using the method called as unblock, it enters into the ready state. Also, when the process is in the block state, it can be suspended by using the suspend method and can be resumed back by using the resume method. The blocked process, if it wants to be unblocked, it can directly go into the ready state or it can come into the ready suspended state. So this is the state of the process during its execution. From its creation to the completion, the process will pass through these 5 different states. So first is a new state where the process is being picked up by the operating system into the main memory. Ready state is the process when it is directly entered into the ready state and it waits for the CPU to be assigned. Running state is the one where the process is ready to execute. Block or wait state is a state where the process is in block or in the waiting state. Completion or termination state is a state where the process finishes its execution. Suspended ready state is a state where the process is waiting in the secondary memory due to its lack of resources. Then suspended wait state is a state where the process from the ready queue is moved into the block queue as it is waiting for some of the resources. So this is how the process is created. The information of the process stored in a process control block and it undergoes into different states. Thank you everyone.